Hello everybody, today I have the pleasure to propose to you this key 72 entitled Christ Dimension. This is the fourth video among a series of 4, so it's the last one, the last chapter in a certain extent. All of them are independent, so just briefly, what is the most important thing regarding this crucial topic is the notion of Christ. Christ comes from Krystos in Greek, which is the crystal. The crystal is the purest, let's say, stone, which is a kind of metaphor. It is the fact to purify yourself, purify your soul and your hearts to access to the purity and thereby as a springboard to the divine part, okay? Christ dimension means this is not belonging to one person, one character, and so on. No, it's a frequency, it's a state of mind, accessible to anyone, to anybody, whatever, regardless the religion, whatever the path, and so on, whatever the history of the person, the gender, whatever. It's just accessible to any type of people. This is concretely the activation, the manifestation of the divine part, the inner goddess, okay? That to say, the true I am, okay? The true I am is without the notion of the ego. Okay, once again, the personality, persona is the mask, okay, is unveiling all this mask, the mask that we embody, the mask which is the fruits of our education, our culture, our religion, many things which is outside, outwardly, okay? So the goal is to do introspection, to purify all this. Doesn't mean that you need necessarily to kick out everything. No, it's not this. It's just to be peaceful. Personally, within, okay? Know thyself and you will know the secret of God and the universe. This is the Greek philosophy. This is introspection, to clean up everything, okay? This is vitriol in alchemy. Alchemy, Hermetism is the fact to inner gazing. Okay, it means this is to it's inward work, okay, to clean up all this and thereby to expand outwardly. It means that you purify all your bad energy regarding your traumas, everything from your past, and you try to be peaceful, okay, to reach salvation through the fact to be peaceful within yourself, okay, with yourself and also with mankind, with other people. This is the goal, and this is the Christ dimension. And which is Christ dimension, once again, is the notion of divine human activation. You don't do like this, of course. It's tough work, but it's a question of high frequencies of heart. It's the benevolence and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is really important. Why I insist so much? Because this is the invitation that we have to follow. I try to do similarities with the Christ messages, which are, let's say, cross borders. You can find in many other currents and or spiritualities, okay? This is, and we will see one of them essentially, but there is transdisciplinarity in a certain extent, transposition as well. So it's kind of common sense, okay? So the invitation of that, and we will see with this opening to the 5D, the 50, the Aquarius era, the Christ era. This is all this different expression to mean the same thing at the end. So once again, the message of Jesus was, you will do the works that I did, and you will even do better and greater. This is really profound, because it doesn't require any sacralization of what he did. Okay, like a label, a medal, and so on. He say, by the way, you are the light of the world, and you all what you did, you will do even better. So it's not a finality; it's just an example to follow. Okay, I did the job. You can do it. You can do it as well. You can have access also to these high frequencies, this state of mind. This is quite complex. This is quite difficult, but I am a way for teaching you. The same for Buddha. The Buddha is not a finalization. It means illuminated, Buddha in Sanskrit. It means awakened. It's the same principle. I am the light of the world, and you are as well. This is Jesus. And illumination is the same for Buddha. It's the same concept. We can have access to the Buddha states, the state of mind, according to the purification of our mind, our soul, our heart especially. It's a question of high vibration. So this is interesting because actually this is the real notion of I am. I am is the divine part expressing through us. Okay, that's why when Jesus said before Abraham was I am. Abraham is 3,300 years before Jesus Christ. So it means this I am, was at the disposal of anyone since the creation. Okay, so it's not belonging to a person, it's just accessible to anybody. It's like finding, downloading a new ID and so on. It's the same principle actually. So what is really important when you read the Bible and a lot of holy scripture and texts, and even here, Jesus, sometimes we have the feeling he has a confusion. It's not a question of bad translation of I, you, he, or they, we, and so on. Like a confusion in the pronouns, personal pronouns. But it's not a mistake. It's because it's not confused. It just dilutes. Okay, is diluting the ego through the immensity of the source. You know, Rumi, the great Sufi, Rumi lived there 200 kilometers from here in Konya, in Anatolia, in Turkey. And he say, you are not a drop in the ocean. You're the entire ocean within a drop. Okay, so it means that. It means that this is the consciousness. Be aware of the consciousness. Okay, what does it mean? It means your individual consciousness is aware of the expression of the global consciousness with a capital letter C. Okay, so check this out. This is my hand, right? Imagine this finger is Aurélien, myself. Okay, is this finger. She is this finger, he is this finger, and so on. Okay, except that who is the hand at the end? Everybody. Okay, among the 5 people here, except that the invisible hands of humanity is made of all 7.8 billions inhabitants. So at the end of this year, 8 billion. So it's like if the invisible hands embodying humanity, humanity, Y-O-U, humanity, mankind would be composed and by 8 billion of fingers, remaining the hand at the end. You understand the point? It's exactly the same. Taken as an example, within myself, there is billions and billions of cells. This is what I explain within the key God. Okay, and the 3rd chapter, I think, was God and Science. Well, so we have billions and billions of neurons, of cells, and so on. Each cell, and this is science talking, each cells contain consciousness. Okay, I have billions of that. Do you think if I'm sick tomorrow, I would say to my different white cells and immune system, oh, you have to do that and do on, and I'm the chief of all of them? Not at all. I don't give any orders. They manage, okay, naturally. But this white cell, this second white cell, this other white cell, all of them are part of me, Aurélien, right? So it's the same, except that we are a cell. We are a cell, individual cell belonging to this cosmic body. We are an individual alveolus, of the cosmic lung that we call universe. You, Y-O-U, universe. This is the principle. YOUniversALL, soul with S-O-U-L. Okay, I play with the sound because it's activating something within normally. Okay, so this is extremely important. As long as we will have understood that, we will reach it. The fact to enlarge your individual consciousness to collective consciousness. It doesn't mean that you are not anymore and you are completely, no, you have your individuality. If I'm the father of my kid, I have my wife and so on, my father, my mother, my sister, and so on. We are a family, okay? We are vibrating within, okay? With a collective consciousness, I mean, with a collective will, with a collective common project and so on. But we still have our own character and so on, and our responsibilities, abilities and so on. So it's not, you have to choose between both. It's just, this is this activating the Christ dimension. You have that, this is for me, divine discussion or Christ discussion. When, for instance, you're discussing with people and you say to yourself, oh, it's strange, no substance, no alcohol and so on. And you say to yourself, did I say that? Or I've been say that, okay, like inspiration, and or you say that and you don't know who is the emission or the reception of the message. It is the true I am. Okay, so it's not belonging to anybody. It's not the ownership. It is basically. It is. Understand this in quota mark? It is. That's it. I know it's a little bit difficult to catch it, but try not to understand. Not to understand. Forget about understanding, structure, rationality, and so on. Try to soak, try to infuse, try to understand, not understand. Understand within, with your cells and so on. Even the cells, I told you, we are individual cells of this cosmic body. But a cell is like, white cells and so on in the genetics, I mean, in the biology. But a cell can be also perceived badly with double face. It can be perceived as a prison, a jail as well. It's up to us. Either we feel limited or belonging to something higher. But you can see that as well, this phenomenon with nature. Most of fishes or birds and so on, they have their individuality. But most of the time when they travel together, they are like a single man, okay? Like one single body, okay? Because they can have this this collective consciousness. Well, one very important thing is the golden rule, which is for me the most important one because it's simply evoking, I mean, into practice what I'm trying to convey and to express here. The golden rule is the kind of ethic of reciprocity. Concretely, it means treat others as you would like to be treated, and or don't do to others what you wouldn't like them to do to you. Okay, if except if you are you are in a struggle and you want to battle against yourself. Okay, you will battle with the entire world, but is an exception. If you treat people as you like to be treated and so on, the world is better because we consider that the world is our family. Okay, but actually what is really interesting, in all religions, these golden rules exist through different forms, different sentences, roughly different words, but it's prevalence. If I take Judaism, for instance, you would love your neighbor as yourself. In Islam, none of you is truly a believer until he loves for his brother and sister what he loves from himself. Cannot be more transparent. In Hinduism, this is the sum of all true righteousness. Treat others as yourself would like to be treated. Do nothing to your neighbor that you would not want him to do for you afterwards. In Buddhism, don't hurt others in ways you would find hurtful yourself. In Taoism, consider that your neighbor earns your bread and your neighbor loses what you lose. Confucianism, isn't it the precept to love all men and women as yourself? Don't do to others what you would not have done to yourself. Zoroastrianism, to conclude, whatever disgusts you, don't do it to other either. So concretely, this is crossing all. This is kind of common sense, but actually, this is to realize that this is the aspiration of Christ dimension, Aquarius, 5D, whatever the word actually is, to coming back to global consciousness. So, this notion of 5D and so on sometimes is a bit confusing for certain. So I'm gonna use some metaphors. 3D concretely is, let's say 3D, okay? It's the physical world, basically, with length and so on, of course. 4D is the notion of time. 5D is an ethereal word, okay, like subtle word, a bit like dream word, to make it short. Let's come back on analogies. 3D would be like a child, consumerism, recklessness sometimes, capricious sometimes, and so on, just focusing on now, and it doesn't care about us there and so on. 4D would be like the teenager, the rebel, is questioning the existence of roles, of his being, and so on. It's just learning and studying, but it doesn't stay in the school all his life long. He can have a PhD, a second one, a third one eventually, but after 35 years old, he has to go to active life, right? To have a job, okay? It's just a transition. 4D is a transition, is reconsidering, questioning our existing things individually and collectively as a civilization, and also our relationship with the world personally, our family and so on, and changing and doing a corrective action according to what vibrates or not. You know what you true are, what you are really, with the experience of what you don't want, what is not, okay? When you meet people that you consider they don't have the same values and so on. And let's come back to another metaphor. The 3D would be the caterpillar. The caterpillar eating, scrolling all his life long, okay? 4D would be when it stops and just for a while, just become the transition becomes a chrysalis, okay? And then it becomes a springboard to the last stage, which is 50, which is a butterfly, okay? The butterfly, concretely, a caterpillar is like human beings, okay? It's binary process, is duality. It means right, left, right, left, like in the maze, labyrinth, okay? So one of the master key is to take a certain height, to have another view, and thereby more angles of vision. This is the holistic dimension. Holos means global, overall vision. This is the big picture, to integrate different pieces to masterpiece, okay, to admire the masterpiece. Okay, so this is also the notion of the butterfly effect. You know, the butterfly effect means just the wing in east can create a tornado in west. This is the same principle. What does it mean? It's a metaphor. Domino effect or a ripple effect. It means that the more I awaken, the more he does. The more he does, the more she does. The more she does, the more, and so on. And the more all of them are awakening, the more I do at the end. So there is like resonance effect, and this is extremely important. That's why I'm always saying awakening is an individual process with collective effects. Okay, so the more everybody is individually awakening, and the more individually are awakening. Okay, because by return back, it's the principle that we will see in the future in few weeks with the notion of egregores. Okay, egregores, you nourish them, and then by return they feed you. Okay, so positively and negatively. So this is extremely important to keep this in mind. And I would say the third D is a kind of our reptilian dimension, animal, you know, to survive, and we are scared about, and so on, scarcity, rarity, all the system is based on that, okay? Fourth dimension would be when humanity, Y-O-U, humanity, find back his or one's humanity. It means that individually we become what we is a true human, sensitive, with empathy, and so on and so far. And we start to enlarge the perspective. And then 5D would be Homo Deus, means the divine human. But it's not like this. It's not we are all godness and so on. Not at all. It is a long process, and that's why there is a transition. That's why we are in this transition. That's why I'm from, let's say, Pisces area and Aquarius area. Between 3D, there is 4D and 5D, and then even higher. There is a transition. It's not you do like this. It's not yeah, the galactic will come, a new Messiah and so on. No, we also need to prepare. A cleaning lady can go to your home, to your flat, if you don't have a good hygiene of life. 1 month later, even if she clean everything, 1 month later it will be the big mess. Okay, are we ready as a humanity to accept abundance, free energy, and so on and so forth? Question mark. But I think we need still to increase our consciousness, because, you know, this is the point. To summarize the Christ dimension and Christ era, the Aquarius era, the 5D and so on, is a notion of level of consciousness. Is not gathering, is not accumulating some knowledge, theory, and so no, not at all. It's just to broaden your perspectives, your consciousness, and your heart, rising your vibration of harmony, peace, and so on, beauty, helping to be benevolent, to be helpful with people, and so on, to enjoy life with the whole entire faces of God, that's to say through even materiality, nature, and so on, and just to let it be. Actually, this is the true I am. So, but for that, we also need to clean up all the trauma and so on through the notion of introspection. Well, you know, I dream about creating a momentum of lucidity, that's to say we are aware, okay, like, you know, revelation, that's to say to unveil the different illusions. But one of the danger of this is just to fall down and to say, oh, the world is shit and so on. No, it's an opportunity to know, to choose what you like, what you don't like, and to build accordingly. Be the change that you want to see in the world. So lucidity, okay, is a statement. Then optimism, rising your vibration of positiveness, because everything is mindset, is epigenetics within your body, okay, your DNA and so on is restructured, reprogrammed, and so on. Thereby is impact the globality of the energy of this planet and mankind in general. And then Pragmatism means operational with concrete projects, but even the fact to be benevolent, to be a solidaire, to give a hand to people, to smile, just basic things like this, and the world will become smoother and smoother, more comfortable, and so on and so forth. And step by step, we will rebuild a new civilization. You know, I'm always taking this example. You know, it's like when let's say there is maintenance on some statues, world heritage, in a certain neglectful states. You don't destroy everything. You take, for example, piece by piece with laser and so on, and you clean up individually, and you take like this and you rebuild. I mean, you don't destroy and you rebuild, you just do piece by piece, peacefully, and like this you can admire afterwards a very sustainable, stable, and solid masterpiece and to admire this amazing worldwide heritage. This is a metaphor for you to understand that this is an invitation to do things harmoniously, peacefully, and of course individually, collectively, with benevolence. This is my most important wish and my dream come true. I hope so. Anyway, I hope it will vibrate. I hope it will resonate within your body and it will be synchronized with your heart beatings. Hoping it will help you to shape your masterpiece, to open up the doors of consciousness, of love, of whatever you want. As you know, all the roads lead to Rome and to the Dome and to home. Thank you for your attention and see you very soon.